Thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news from the U.S. There's been a mass shooting in Florida. At least 2 people have been killed and 20 injured in the city of Miami. Police say 3 attackers shot indiscriminately into a large crowd. Let's go straight to Miami and Andy Gallagher, who's there for us. Andy, what more do we know?
Well, this shooting happened in the early hours of Sunday morning outside a banquet hall that is being reported that was rented out for a rap concert. What we do know is that 3 men pulled up in a white SUV, walked out of that vehicle with a mixture of assault rifles and pistols and indiscriminately shot into the crowd that was gathered outside that concert hall, killing 2 people and injuring at least 20. There are some reports saying that 25 people were injured, at least one of those critically. Some of those people that were injured drove themselves to local hospitals across the city, but the chief of police saying he thinks this was a targeted, cold-blooded shooting in a Miami neighborhood. So we're still waiting for more details. The police obviously are now looking at footage from the area to try and identify the 3 suspected shooters in this case. But this is the second shooting this Memorial Day weekend here in Miami. There was another one on Saturday night in which 1 person was killed and 6 others injured. And of course, this is the latest in a spree of mass shootings as this country begins to emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Right, and I was going to ask you about that. There's been a surge in gun violence in the U.S. this year, President Biden calling it a national embarrassment. What are the reasons behind this increase and what's being done to stop it?
Well, the reasons behind it are always very complex, but it seems that as people come out of the COVID-19 pandemic, remember that entire year the pandemic was sweeping across this country, gun violence was generally down, and as people return to normal life, unfortunately, this is normal life in this country. We had a mass shooting in California just a few days ago. There was a mass shooting in Georgia at a series of massage parlors. It just keeps going on and on. Now, President Biden is trying to tackle this by introducing legislation to, for instance, ban 3D printed guns, but essentially he's fighting a losing battle because the Republicans will never pass anything that challenges the Second Amendment. But yet again, we see the shooter in California with thousands of bullets, extended magazines, and this pandemic in itself, this gun violence pandemic, just seems to continue going on despite calls for action. So unfortunately, in the grand scheme of things, what happened here in the early hours of Sunday morning is on a smaller scale than what the shootings we've seen in the past. As for what lawmakers will do about curtailing this kind of gun violence, well, that's just a question I've been answering for the last 15 years, and the answer always seems to be nothing.
Andy Gallagher in Miami. Thank you very much, Andy.